everybody. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. How's it going?
I can't put the thing on the TV.
Well,
do you know how to do it?
I do. If you want to.
Could you do it?
If you want to send me the
graphic?
The graphic.
I don't know how to do it. Hi guys, well-oiled machine around here.
Yep. That's what we are.
I'm Greg and that's Mallory. Hi Mallory.
Hi.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I am. I am doing okay. Sort of.
We just don't have like a We just don't have like a graphic? Like a logo?
Honestly, I kind of like the picture of New York behind you.
Okay, well that's not helpful though. That's not promoting the show.
Yeah, but can we?
Okay.
Oh, now it's some boats.
See, that's what I'm. Okay, stop.
I wish I was there right now.
The boats are not important. There you go. There's a logo. Just throw the. That's just the DCTF. It's all going terrible Okay, there's that. There's another logo.
I'll put up the WTF logo.
Do not put up the WTF logo under any circumstances.
What if I did? What are you gonna do? Fire me?
I don't have that power. I've been told.
Exactly.
I've been told a lot, very often, that I don't have the power to fire.
Correct.
You. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show before the free show. I am Greg. That is Mallory, who's in for Ashley, who's off doing president business stuff today.
She's pantsuit pickle today.
She is pantsuit pickle, or like suit spraggins, what we can call her.
Oh yeah,
like
she's not. Well, I mean, she's
suited
still
and
pickle.
booted spraggins. Yeah, she's still pickle.
We gotta think of something else.
It's kind of like we were talking about, like Aaron Hardigan. Aaron Hardigan's been married for years, but like.
Yeah, but she's still right.
I literally just call her Aaron Hardigan in describing her.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you heard the news from the bang. Look at that. I'm not sure if you heard this news. This is some late break. Oh my God. I'm not sure if you heard this late breaking news from the National Basketball Association. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I sure did.
De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs?
No. That's not the one I was thinking of.
Seems like a big deal.
Yeah.
No, I went to bed, or I actually was really happy because I went to bed early on Saturday night. I went to bed at like 10 o'clock and then like woke up Sunday morning and I grabbed my phone. Yeah. And the first notification I had was...
So you didn't even see it on Saturday night when it broke at what, 11:30?
It gets better, okay? Because I grabbed my phone and the first notification that I have is from my weather app, which says, hey, it's Groundhog Day. Why don't you see if Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow? And let me tell you something. We have so outgrown this stupid groundhog.
I know.
Like, we're
adults now.
Like, that feels like something from 100 million years ago.
Correct.
Is like we're going to listen to some rodent to let us know what the weather's going to be.
Right.
That sounds wild, which, by the way, I didn't even know. Because, like, what happened was like, oh, that's interesting. I will click on that notification. Let me just check these other notifications real quick. That's why I don't know.
That's when you saw it. Wow.
That's why I don't know if Puxatawny Phil saw it, because I had some other notifications.
Can I tell you where I was?
Sure.
Okay, so a bunch of us went to the UNT basketball
game. Luka Doncic got traded.
Oh, yeah. By the way, that's that happened.
Let you know.
We went to the UNT basketball game on Saturday, and then afterwards we decided to go out. And
they won, right?
No, they did not.
Never mind.
No,
but
all my basketball. It was a bad basketball weekend for me.
But they're pretty good. Like North Texas is pretty good.
Yeah, they that was their first loss in a long time. They only have 5 losses, I think. So it's going to come down to them in Memphis in the AAC tournament, I think.
Oh.
But
well, hey, listen.
Anyways.
You know. I mean, it's February, which means next month is March. You know what that means.
Basketball.
That's right. I'll bring you back.
We'll bring me back. Chief bracketologist. Anyways, so I was we went out in Denton afterwards, and we were at one of the bars, and my friend Randy was sitting beside me. Randall. And she's sitting there, and we're playing cards, having fun, and she looks at her watch because she got an ESPN notification, and she goes, Luka just got traded. And we all looked at her, we were like, no, I think you're wrong. Wrong.
You've been hacked.
Yeah, or like somebody,
Shams got hacked.
Sham got hacked, right? And then sure enough, we look up at the TV, and then the entire bar just erupted. Like everybody, you could hear everybody booing. You know, it was insane. But we all came together in that moment and grieved.
So
I grieved with a bunch of strangers.
I have friends who named their. I have a friend who named his kid Luca. That's not a joke. Like, I have a friend who named his kid Luca.
Like, people name their dogs after Luca.
This is like a huge deal. My brother. I'm a casual Mavs fan. My brother is
Same.
the Mavs are
I'm a casual.
The Mavs are probably my brother's favorite team, my older brother. So he was going through it and having a tough time, and he was trying to like describe it. He's like, I don't know if I've ever felt this way. What he described it as is, he said it's the transaction version of like when the Rangers lost Game 6 of the 2011 World Series.
Yeah.
Like, this is like the transactional version of
that. Right.
It's a shocking thing.
Yeah.
And like, I had to go to a meeting for an organization I volunteer with, and it's with it's like high school seniors. And there were like 30 of them, and one of them was wearing a Luka jersey, and he walked out, and I just gave him a hug. I just gave Fletcher a hug. I was like, buddy, it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. Hey, on the bright side, you know who we did get out of the trade?
Max Christie.
Max Christie, baby.
Yeah.
One and done at Michigan State a couple years ago.
Is he a Michigan State guy?
He sure is. He was a one and done. Yeah, so
that?
It was funny. Everybody was tweeting like, who's Max Christie? And then, I don't know if you saw my tweet, but on Twitter, I didn't tweet anything about Luka, but when the news broke, I put out a GIF of Max Christie in a Michigan State basketball uniform, and I said, Max Christie, you said.
It's the Max Christie
Everyone's
train.
Like, who? I am
Christie
riding
train.
The Max Christie train. I'm okay. My Mavs heart's happy.
One of the tweets that I sent out was that I stayed up until 11:30 last night just to make sure the Rangers didn't trade Corey Seager for a sack of wet gravel.
Or like the Dallas Stars lose like Jamie Benn or Tyler Sagan or something.
They're just like, what if we just give them away? Anyway,
Yeah.
Wild times.
Sure
Go
is.
Sports. Hit the theme expo. Yes, y'all. From the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, all the places, or you listen to us in the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's my mal pal. She's your mal pal. She's our Marcus Mariota.
Ooh. Okay.
She's Mallory Hartley. Because that is, I believe that's the Eagles' backup quarterback.
Is he with the Eagles now?
Uh-huh.
Because he was, I don't even remember where he was drafted to, but.
No, I'm sorry. He's the Commanders' backup quarterback.
Okay.
I knew he was in the NFC Championship game because he showed up because they had like a package for him.
Right.
They brought him in, and yeah. Who's the Eagles' backup quarterback?
I could not tell you.
It is Kenny Pickett.
Pitt? Quarterback? Or former quarterback? No kidding. Okay.
Do you know what? Okay, let me ask you a question. What is Kenny Pickett's legacy to you? Because I have a definitive answer.
His legacy?
Like, what do you remember about Kenny Pickett, besides being pretty good at Pitt?
That we played Pitt. Michigan State played Pitt in a bowl game back in 2022, and we beat Kenny Pickett and Pitt. That is what I remember.
Do you know what I remember about Kenny Pickett?
Because Pat Narduzzi's their head coach. He was our former defensive coordinator.
The Nard
dog.
Kenny Pickett did the fake slide. Do you remember this?
Yes!
He did a fake slide, and they basically had to, like, write a rule. Like, they had to outlaw it because he, faked a slide, and everyone, pulled up because, of course, if a quarterback goes into a slide, You let him go because that's the rule.
Right.
But he faked the slide, ran for a touchdown, and like the next week or something, they like wrote a rule like, no, we can't be having that because otherwise what we're doing is we're inviting quarterbacks to get their heads taken off.
Oh my gosh, I remember. When was that though?
Oh, he was in college.
I can't remember what year.
It was the year he was really cooking.
It had to be a senior year, right?
It must have been. But yeah, 2022. Yeah, it was like a 40-yard touchdown run or something like that, and like about 20 yards in,
sick.
He like fakes a slide and then keeps running, and everyone's like, no, like that we cannot be doing that.
We can't do that.
We can't.
That's so dangerous.
That is a dangerous precedent to take.
Sick.
Anyway, today is Monday, February 3rd, 2024. We finally made it out of January.
January felt like 12 years.
297 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan. I hope Ferdinand Magellan, wherever he is having a great day. I hope he's... Hold on. Oh, wow. Well, this is terrible news. I'm receiving word that Ferdinand Magellan died in 1521. Our condolences to the Magellan family.
Condolences.
It's episode 1830. On today's show, thank you. On today's show, folks, we got headlines from across state, including some major Texas high school football coaching changes at some of the most prominent programs across the state of Texas. Then, This Week in Recruiting. Greg Powers, our director of recruiting. He'll just be sitting in a chair that's right over here.
Yeah.
Then we're going to unveil the 2024 Whataburger Super Team, as voted on by you, the fans. We can't be blamed for this. I love this day because people can get mad, and all they can do is be mad at themselves for voting. On the Whataburger Super Team, we will show you who the 40 honorees for the 2024 Whataburger Super Team will be revealing that coming up here, back half of the program. So make sure you stick around for that. So, Mallory, do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was TJ Hudson, BJWB, jersey number 69, and Lowell Good. Welcome in, fellas.
What are you giggling about?
I just like to giggle. That's,
All right.
I'm just a giggler.
Let's get to some headlines. Mal, from across the state of Texas. Let's look at this one shot. Hello. We will start with some coaching changes from across the state of Texas and the Texas high football world. And one of them will start as one of the very biggest jobs, I think, in Central Texas. The Temple Wildcats have been looking for a head coach for a while. This job came open in December after Scott Stewart stepped down. And
big job.
There were some rumblings about some really big names being attached to this job. And they end up having a big name who is a legend in their own town, but it is an internal move. Temple has promoted their offensive coordinator, Chad President, to be their next head coach. Chad, he told, this was reported by Greg Willey, first at TempleBeltonSports.com. Chad President is a guy that you may know as a player at Temple. He was terrific there, led them to a 2014 title game there with the Wildcats for the Blue Front Whiteback Magic. Went on to a career there, played 4 seasons at Tulsa, got into the coaching game, and he has been the offensive coordinator there at Temple since 2023. Or rather, he was offensive coordinator at Midway in 2023. Joined the staff as alma mater in Temple in 2024. Now he will be the head coach of the Temple Wildcats a mere 10 years after leading them to a state championship game. Chad President will be the next head coach of the Temple Wildcats. So do that math. Just do that math. That means that under the age of 30, the head coach of the Temple Wildcats, but obviously he knows that program inside and out. He is beloved within that program. Excited to see what Chad President is able to do there with Temple. We'll be keeping an eye on that one. Another coaching alert, this one coming out of Lufkin. Lufkin, of course, a very big job out there in the Piney Woods. Todd Quick, we talked about this last week. Todd Quick did such a fantastic job taking over for the late, great John Outlaw. He retired, and they have gone and hired a guy with state championship pedigree. As Lufkin has hired Carl Absek to be the next head coach of the Lufkin Panthers. Carl Absek, of course, most recently just left Barbers Hill, where he was the head coach for Barbers Hill for the previous 4 seasons. And before that, he was the head coach leading Cedar Park to a state championship. He is a guy who knows his way around the state championship stage. He has won at the highest level, and now he is heading out to the Piney Woods. He has a career record of 102-27 in his head coaching career, including that state championship there at Cedar Park, there in his first season as a head coach in 2015. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's a guy who is keep an eye on Lufkin, of course. One of the most decorated programs, one of the most passionate programs in Texas high school football. They have their new head coach in Carl Absek, who moves from Barbers Hill, who he had stepped down. It's not leaving. He did leave Barbers Hill. Now he's going over to Lufkin. But speaking of which, Barbers Hill has made a hire. Barbers Hill has gone into the Houston area, and they have hired Cy Woods head coach Cody Semper to be their next head coach. Barbers Hill, after what they call a mutual parting of ways with Carl Absek, of course, landing there at Lufkin. Now, Cody Semper, who has been at Cy Woods for the previous 4 seasons, went 26-17, will be the next head coach there at Barbers Hill. This is a guy who's probably best known before he got to Cy Woods. He was the head coach at Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial, where he launched the program, started the program from the ground up, and really got them going in a hurry, including a run in 2020 to the 5A Division I state semifinals. That was really, I think, the coming out party. That's probably where he made his name. Was what he did at Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. Went on, did good things at Cy Woods. Now he's going to be the next head coach there at Barbers Hill. He's certainly got that track record. Barbers Hill has hired Cody Semper to be their next head coach. So we will be keeping an eye on that. It's another big job out there.
Cy Woods was kind of that team in like the Cypress. Oh, I got to move over here because I'm in headlines too. I was going to say that Cypress Woods team last year was like kind of that sleeper team of like the Cypress area. Because I mean, like their resume was really good. They went 8-3, and then even those games that they lost were only by a couple of points. I feel like they were kind of that sleeper team down there in the Cypress area.
Okay. Hey, Mallory, what shirt are you wearing?
RVE.
Okay, and can you tell people what RVE stands for?
Randall versus everybody.
Oh, Richmond Randall.
Yeah, Ish and I are matching today. I texted him this morning. I said, hey, I'm wearing my Randall shirt if you want to match with me.
So that leads us actually to our next headline, which is coming out of Houston Memorial there at Spring Branch ISD. Gary Koch, of course, the longtime legendary coach there. He had been the head coach since 1992. Announced his retirement. They will have a new head coach, and it is a guy with state championship pedigree. They have hired the offensive coordinator from the defending 5A Division II state champion Richmond Randall Lions. Brooks Hack will be the next head coach at Memorial. Hack, of course, played a key role. He's been the offensive coordinator there. Helped open the program there in 2021. Helped lead them to that state championship. He's a guy who has obviously helped to build that program. This is a Memorial program that is in need of a little bit of a jolt. Obviously, he's a new voice, the first new voice they've had, in more than 30 years. It'll be certainly different, but he brings that young, that young energy. He is also a guy. He's got great pedigree himself. He was a quarterback, and this is very sad for myself. He was. I remember him playing at Katy. He graduated and played at Louisiana Lafayette. He started as a graduate assistant at McNeese State. His father, Callum Hack, is a legend in Katy. He's actually Katy's softball coach. Head softball coach for 26 years. He was also on Gary Joseph's staff there at Katy. So the Hack name, it's 2 A's, H-A-A-C-K, is well known and regarded in the Katy community. And now Brooks Hack will be the next head coach there in Spring Branch ISD at Houston Memorial. Excited to see what he does. Obviously, state championship pedigree, being the offensive coordinator there at Randall. So RVE, there you go.
RVE.
Now, speaking of feeling old, and speaking of quarterbacks that I covered, Let's go to Livingston. Livingston has made a hire to be their next head coach as their Finis Vanover, I believe, or Finis Vanover stepped down. They have gone and hired the White House offensive coordinator from White House, of course. Perhaps you know one of their most famous alumni, Patrick Mahomes. But their offensive coordinator under head coach Kyle Westerberg for the past 4 seasons has been a gentleman by the name of Tucker Carter. And you may remember Tucker Carter as the former the former quarterback of the Allen Eagles, who led them to a state championship back in 2008. He was the guy who led them to the first state championship. He was, Coach Carter is going to hate me saying this, he did what Kyler Murray did before Kyler Murray did. He won a title at Allen. And then he went on and played at Trady Valley before playing under Larry Coker there at UTSA. But yeah, he is now going to be the head coach there of the Livingston Lions. Tucker Carter, the White House head offensive coordinator, become the next head coach there at Livingston. Excited to see what he does there. Then one small school note: Heiko's been looking for a head coach. After the retirement of Todd Swearingen, they have stayed internal, but they have hired a guy who, it's an internal hire, but it's certainly not a guy who's a stranger to the head coaching position, and that is Coach Britt Hart. Britt Hart is going to be the next head coach there of Heiko. He is probably best known, if that name sounds familiar, he was the head coach at Fall City from 2015 to 2019, where he went 58-12 and led them to a pair of state semifinal appearances for the Beavers, a guy who is really well regarded in the small school ranks there. Britt Hart is going to be the next head coach there of the Heiko of Heiko. So keep an eye on that one. But Heiko has their head coach. They have promoted their offensive coordinator there in Britt Hart. Finally, some sad news to pass along, and this was flagged for me this morning actually by our friend Zach Duncan. And I want to alert you that Texas High School Football Hall of Famer Robert Wilcox has passed away. He passed away Sunday at the age of 95. Robert Wilcox is a name that you may not know. He is in the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. Robert Wilcox served as the PA announcer of the Iowa Park Hawks for more than 70 years.
Wow.
70 years. He was honored in the class of 2022, the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame, with the Dave Campbell Contributor to the Game Award. And so he went into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame more than 70 years as the IP PA announcer, and a guy who 72 years he was the IP athletic or PA announcer, the voice of the Hawks, and a guy who beloved in the Iowa Park community. Robert Wilcox passes away at the age of 95. We're certainly thinking of the Iowa Park community and the Wilcox family. But what a legacy to leave there, as Robert Wilcox, the Texas High School Hall of Famer, has passed away on Sunday. He was 95 years old. You can read more about that, by the way, on Zach Duncan's Substack. It's the Red River Roundup. I'm a subscriber. It's very good. So your mileage may vary, but go check that out. Anyway, that is the news around the state. We are Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com. Talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbells. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I hope you'll go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Why? Because it helps keep Mallory Hartley fed.
Don't want me to go hungry. I get hangry.
And also, you just get a whole lot of good stuff, including, this is true, and I can just tell you this. Tomorrow, we have our kickoff meeting for the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. That's a true fact.
Oh, yeah.
We have it tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. So if you were to show up at our offices, you would see all of us gathered together and starting the process of putting together the 2025 summer edition. If you want that magazine mailed to you before it hits newsstand, plus a year of Dave Campbell's Texan Live, watch a ton of basketball right now. Soccer season's getting cooking, right? Baseball's around the corner, softball, all sorts of stuff
swimming
on Texan Live, swimming and diving. You can go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Makes a great gift as well. Look, it's February. It's Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Get your lover the gift of a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription. txhsfb.com/subscribe. Nothing says I love you
like a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription.
Coming up here in just a moment, we will ask Greg Powers if he got his wife a subscription to Dave Campbell's
Nah,
Texas
I think
Football.
Rebecca's been a subscriber for a long time.
But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
30-yard line, the 20, the 10. Touchdown!
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wings drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
Sorry.
But, okay, now we're getting just settled in. It's going great. Hi. I'm Greg.
I was stressed. I thought there was another one. I think there was. I just think that.
Listen, Mallory Hartley. Listen. There's a lot going on.
Just me.
A lot. The bolts are flying. Welcome back to Texas Football Today. I'm Greg. That's Mallory. I think people don't necessarily recognize. So when you're the producer of this show, like you are the producer, you're also the director, you're also the A1, which is the audio engineer. You're also the visual. You're also the graphics department. Like you're doing a lot. So I always try to have a lot of grace for Mallory Hartley. Not for Pickle though. Yeah. She can just get good. Speaking of getting good.
Like you already saw.
Greg Powers!
It was like a sneak preview.
It was like the preview.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Thank goodness I got my walk-in music turned off in time so that we didn't get copyrighted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would have been tough.
For the fans at home, when I come into the studio, today.
Yeah.
I came in with a walk-in music.
Yeah, you did. Did you, we need to talk offline about this. Did you watch the Grammys?
I did not.
You did not watch the Grammys? You are my trusted source on like the best country music going. Like the music you listen to, there's nobody I trust more to recommend that genre of music.
There's not a lot of great country music, but there's some.
There's some, cause you can find it, and cause there was one guy who I know you've recommended to me, who I think lost a Grammy last night. That's the only reason I asked.
Who was it?
I don't remember.
I
this is a great conversation. This is the content people tune in for. Speaking of the content people tune in for, I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week
in Cruton. That was well done. That was a good one.
This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScouts. He is fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, it's February, and you know what that means? It's National Chicken Express Month. Is that true? I don't know, but it's true now because I said it on the internet. Go to Chicken Express and eat their chicken tenders, or just eat their fried chicken. Like we talk about the tenders because the tenders hit, and it's like, to me, that's the most convenient. That's me. But you want to hit that catfish?
Pre-order those wings for Sunday.
Get them wings.
Their wings, I'm telling you, their wings
we haven't even talked about
their wings are like the secret. menu item that people don't talk about enough. Their wings are really good.
We haven't even talked about the big game Sunday, but yeah, that's important.
There's a lot going on.
So you can go like Chicken Express, get that order in right now.
I would say the one thing, like I'm a big, you got to dunk your roll. You got to put the chicken inside the roll, then dunk it in the gravy. You guys know my strategy for eating Chicken Express tenders. Everybody, it's well documented.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The only pass I give to that is when you're having the wings.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
if you're having wings, you can put buffalo on them, ranch, I mean, whatever. They have an array of sauces that are good.
Hard
but
to
their
miss.
wings don't miss.
Absolutely. Just week in recruiting with Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. A lot to get to in this week's report. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Thank you. Our prospect on the rise this week. We're going to start in Houston to talk about Cy Ranch, their 2026 tight end, athlete, do-it-all superstar, William Blaylock II, who is picked up his first 2 scholarship offers this week from Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M. This is the guy who is the son of Cy Ranch head coach William Blaylock, and a guy who is starting to pick up a little bit of steam here. And I have a feeling that these first 2 guys in the door, Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M, they will not be alone for long.
I agree with that. 6'3", 220 pounds, can really move. They call him Deuce, by the way,
okay.
because instead of Junior the second, I like that. I like
Deuce,
the name
that's
Deuce.
very good.
So Deuce down at Cy Ranch is a guy who I think is going to start to pick up continued interest, especially into the spring evaluation period, because he's so athletic and can do so many different things. The first 2 scholarship offers that have came in from Texas Southern and Prairie View A&M came in as looking at him as an H. But I think as the spring evaluation comes that he could get more looks as an outside linebacker or as an edge defender, because bear in mind, Coach Blaylock and Deuce came from Lubbock Estacado that didn't have spring ball last year. So colleges didn't have an opportunity to see him, and he is going to spend some time playing defense now at Cy Ranch. I'm very interested to see how that goes. I don't want to call it an experiment because he's a high football IQ player. He used to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
So he can really do anything on the football field. At 6'3", 220, you can't. I mean, that's great size. You know, it's natural or God-given. So interested to see what the spring evaluation period brings for him. But congratulations to not only Deuce down there at Cy Ranch, but the entire Cy Ranch community, because their football team has been blowing up. They've got a defensive end down there, Vickerson, that started to get a lot of attention, and then 2028 offensive lineman Ramoni Edwards is going to be one of the top guys in the country.
It's big doings down there at Cy Ranch, and Deuce, William Blaylock II, is one of those guys to keep an eye on. Let's get to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, we're going to Central Texas to talk about Waco University wide receiver London Smith, who pulled the trigger this week and committed to Baylor. Baylor seals the borders here and hauls him in over offers from places like Texas and A&M and Oklahoma and a lot more. Now, this, I will just be honest, all things considered here, this felt like one Baylor really needed to land this putt, and they landed the putt for sure.
Yeah, the connections were so strong. Both of his parents attended Baylor. As a matter of fact, his mother still is on staff at Baylor. Both parents are Hall of Famers at Baylor, so this was like one that they really needed to get. They needed to land London Smith. I think he's going to end up as one of the highest rated players that they've signed in the last few years. The reason why I say I think instead of I know is because we're right smack dab in the middle of doing our prospect rankings for the class of 2026, and I've narrowed it down to 25 guys for the top 10. And
okay.
London Smith is one of those 25.
So you're
names.
almost halfway there.
Yeah, almost halfway there. But what I'm finding incredibly difficult within this class is that it is honestly from 1 to 25, and maybe even beyond that, it's tight. Like there isn't a clear line of demarcation this year for me to say, oh, well, this is where you have to draw a line, and these guys are probably top 10 worthy, and these guys aren't really top 10 worthy because they're all pretty good. Baylor also got a commitment from Waco Connolly's Jamarian Vincent, and Mallory Hartley filed a little bit of report on that earlier this week as well. Mal, what did you think about Vincent?
I really liked him. Watching his tape. So I remember seeing the London Smith news happen on Wednesday night, and I specifically looked at that post, and I looked under it, and Jamarian Vincent had replied with the eyes, you know, the eye emoji, and I was like, that's interesting, because I knew he was pretty high on Baylor, so I kept looking at their profiles a little bit the day after, and of course, soon after he committed to Baylor as well. Another 4-star prospect that Baylor was able to keep at home this week, 6'2", 165 pounds. He plays on both sides of the ball, quarterback and cornerback, but he's being recruited as a cornerback. And if you remember a couple years ago, Waco Connolly is kind of known for producing those top-tier 4-star cornerbacks. Does Kobe Black ring a bell a little bit? But he's a really, really good athletic, like you just said about London Smith, high football IQ, choosing Baylor over offers from Texas, Houston, Kansas State, TCU. He had 17 in total, so really, really big get for the Baylor Bears this week, and those 2 4-stars.
Yeah, two guys there in Central Texas that again like shop local, and they've done that with Waco Connolly there with Vincent, and then here with Waco U with London Smith. So
hometown heroes.
Big gets for them. Let's round it all out with our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week, we're going to the North Crowley to talk about their soon-to-be sophomore, 2028 wide receiver Demarion Mays, who picked up new offers this week from places like Georgia, SMU, Colorado, and Houston. He's already got offers from A&M, Texas Tech, Miami, Ole Miss, etc. He is loaded. This is a guy who played his freshman year at Life Oak Cliff in the Dallas area. Now he's going to be playing at North Crowley, but he is for a North Crowley program that has made some big wide receiver names. Demarion Mays may be the next one.
Yeah, I think he is going to be the next one. His statistics were unbelievable last year. I think he went over 1,500 yards last year as a freshman. No matter what level of competition you're playing against, that's elite production. And I look for him to be, North Crowley's got a lot of talent, right? They've got guys that are coming back that are waiting their turn to be the stars of that show. Of course, Quentin Gibson was the star of the show this season, but next season I think it's going to be a pretty wide open on who's going to take the reins, because we really don't know what's going to happen there under center either, right? So I'm interested to see what happens under center, but no matter who the quarterback is, they're going to have a wealth of weapons, and Mays is a guy that has a chance to be the top prospect in the state, the number one guy. And Texas, I would say, I'm just going to say it, everybody needs to hear it, Texas is the best state for wide receiver talent in the country, edging out Florida ever so slightly. Florida, of course, producing some great top-end guys like Jeremiah Smith, Jamie French, some of those type of names that you'll be familiar with nationally and even locally here because Texas got French. But I still think Texas, we produce the most talented wide receiver, and I think the most consistent performers in college football at wide receiver. And Mays might be the number one guy.
He is a dude to keep an eye on for sure, and they're going to have some fun putting him in interesting spots there in that North Crowley offense.
Coach Eli's going to have fun.
Coach Eli's going to be drawing him up maybe in the sand. One guy who's always drawing it up. It's Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here. Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScouts. He's fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting, and you can hang around if you want. You can just hang around.
What are we doing next?
We're going to reveal the Whataburger Super Team.
Oh, I can't wait.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at TCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. It is now time to unveil the 2024 Whataburger Super Team. Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Whataburger are proud to honor the best and brightest stars in Texas high school football with the announcement of the 2024 Whataburger Super Team. Texas high school football fans across the state cast more than 280,000 votes on TexasFootball.com and landed on 40 outstanding athletes from all parts of Texas to be part of the named with this unique honor. For more information, you can go to TexasFootball.com/whatasuperteam. Without further ado, and remember, all fan voted. We had nothing to do with this thing, so let's roll out the 2024 Whataburger Super Team, starting with the offense. Quarterback, do you have the graphic?
I thought you were going to drum roll. But
there you go. Sorry.
That was was underwhelming.
My bad. Sorry. I did not give it the due that it deserved. Quarterback Adam Schobel from Columbus. Running back DeAndre Tiger Ryden from DeSoto. Running back Cameron Williams from Jefferson. Wide receiver DeCorian Moore from Duncanville. Wide receiver Andrew Marsh from Katy Jordan. Wide receiver Kalik Lockett from Saxe. Offensive lineman Lamont Rogers from Mesquite Horn. Offensive lineman Connor Carty from Prosper. Offensive lineman Cash Courtney from Carthage. Offensive lineman Ty Haywood from Denton Ryan. Offensive lineman Jackson Christian from Port Neches Groves. Kicker Diego Frausto from El Paso del Valle. Utility Michael Terry III from San Antonio Alamo Heights. Utility Cartier Collier from Alvarado. Utility Chris Jemerson Jr. from North Crowley. And utility Jacoby Dixon from Brenham. On the defensive side, defensive lineman Vakapuni Faketi from A&M Consolidated. Defensive lineman Lance Jackson from Texarkana Pleasant Grove. Defensive lineman Keelan Abrams from DeSoto. Linebacker Jonathan Cunningham from North Crowley. Linebacker Riley Pettijohn from McKinney. Linebacker Elliot Shopper from Austin Westlake. Defensive back Kobe Sellers from Alvin Shadow Creek. Defensive back Jaden Sanders from Kilgore. Defensive back Devin Sanchez from Galena Park North Shore. Defensive back Dorian Brew from Conroe. Punter Noah Lopez from Round Rock Stony Point. Utility Michael Riles from Port Arthur Memorial. Utility Jaden Shelton from South Oak Cliff. Utility Leo Almanza from Byron Nelson. And utility Tyson Dean from San Antonio Southwest. We also named 10 members of the Fans' Choice Award. These are basically the guys who were the next best voting, next highest vote getters at each position. The Fans' Choice quarterback was Keelan Russell from Duncanville. The Fans' Choice running back was J.J. Flores from Edinburgh Vela. The Fans' Choice wide receiver / tight end was Preston Harrison from Mineral Wells. The Fans' Choice offensive lineman was Michael Fasusi from Louisville. The Fans' Choice defensive lineman was Chad Woodfork from Humble Summer Creek. Fans' Choice linebacker Brendan Reese from Longview. Fans' Choice defensive back Colin Peacock from Gunner. Fans' Choice kicker Cade Whitehead from Stephenville. And Fans' Choice punter Ethan Guillen from Waxahachie. So there it is, the 2024 Whataburger Super Team. You can find out more information at texasfootball.com/whatasuperteam. I think you guys did pretty good. I don't have any real complaints there. Good job by the fans.
Great.
Good job by the fans. Good job, fans.
You read those names. You
Thanks,
destroyed
Killed
them.
it.
Shopper, and you was right on it.
Well, listen, I also did. It's funny because I did for FanDuel Sports Network. I did a semifinal for North Shore and Westlake.
Gotcha.
And so I was calling Elliot Shopper's name a lot in that game because he was living in the backfield. So anyway, you can go check that out at texasfootball.com/whatasuperteam. Let's go over to Mallory Hartley for America's second favorite segment, Final Thoughts. Hello, Mallory Hartley. You guys want to tell us about what you're doing on Wednesday?
What? Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm
Thank God she
trying to find
Thank
the
goodness
graph.
she knows.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. She'd be like, what?
No, yeah, we're it's National Signing Day.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Remember
very
National Signing Day?
It feels like we just had one, right, Powers?
You say it's National Signing Day again.
Again. Yeah, this is not a. This
like
is not
the real
early.
one, like real
This is,
one.
yeah,
I don't know.
correct.
It's so strange now because I mean, you and I think we're old enough to remember when National Signing Day, like the February signing day, was like the day,
more.
like the mega day,
Right.
And now it's like it's an important day. But like the early signing period has certainly taken some of the starch.
Well, the timing of the early signing period has taken some of the starch off signing day, I would say, in general, based on when it is, because there's a lot going on in that time frame for us, especially because we have all the Texas high school football playoff action going on. But nationally, you now have the college football playoffs coming out at that same time. So there are some very big national headlines that's around National Signing Day, which takes some of the shine off of it in a way. But I like this signing day now because you can look at it as a celebration, right? Like this is a true day now for celebration. You can schedule out, if you're a high school coach or a high school program, like a day to honor these guys, you know, all of your signees. And some of them now are gone on to college already because they're early enrollees as far as the top recruits are concerned. But there's a lot of opportunity here to celebrate some of these players who are going to be going on to play in college now, getting paid to play in college now, and also getting a free education. Yeah. So a lot to celebrate on National Signing Day.
Yeah, so you guys are going to be celebrating on Wednesday, right, Malpal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to do a pre-recorded show. Won't be live, but we will have some video content for you guys for
noon,
National
right?
Signing Day.
On noon?
I think that we don't have a hard timeline. We're going to have to wait for some big news to come in. I think two of the ones that we're really watching closely, Ty Haywood, Denton Ryan. He's the top unsigned prospect in the state. And Grayson Rigdon from Columbus on official visit to Arizona State this weekend. Can the Sun Devils pull him in? Can he be the next Cam Scatabo in that offense? Will he be? I don't know. I mean, that's something that I'm going to be watching for.
We'll find out. That's coming up Wednesday here on this very program. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at txhsfb.com. For Greg Powers and Mallory Hartley, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you Thursday on Texas Football Today.